302, I'm Jackie Ferris. On this week's show, we're putting on our helmets and we're hitting the track at the Xtreme Zone, where you can hop in a go-kart and have a blast. Buckle up, Buttercup. We're tearing up the track on the 302. Hey there, we are at the playground for big kids. I'm talking about the Xtreme Zone, where you can hop in a go-kart and go crazy. I'm joined by Bill Petroni. He is the owner of the Xtreme Zone. Bill, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for coming.
Now, the Xtreme Zone is a new brand for a business that you've been running for 12 years, right?
Correct. It used to be called Mid-Atlantic Grand Prix, Delaware's only indoor go-karting facility. We rebranded to Xtreme Zone this past year, right before COVID struck, and we've added some new activities here that go along with go-karting.
Now, I'm glad that you brought up the pandemic, and a lot of people have been struggling. They're trying to get out there and do some things, and once they're getting out there are guidelines. So what do we need to know before we come out and visit you during the pandemic and even into the spring?
Well, obviously, we all have to wear masks, just like anywhere else. When you come in the lobby, you have to wear a mask to be inside the building here. Once you put your helmet on and you put your full face race mask on, you can take the other mask off. You put your helmet on, you head out on the go-karts, you do your race. When you come in and remove that head sock, you then have to put your mask on, just like any other bar or restaurant here in Delaware. Anywhere, pretty much.
Now, you've been doing this for 12 years. Can you talk to me a little bit about, how you got into it? I guess, did you have a go-kart as a teenager?
Kid. I loved go-karts as a kid, but I really wasn't looking to get into go-karting. But it's a long story. I was trying to buy a car wash and found this opportunity here and went with it, and have been doing it ever since for 12 years.
And it really is a blast. You get into the karts, and talk to me a little bit about the course itself.
It's a quarter-mile track with 9 turns. Has some nice straightaways. We just did a redesign during COVID. When we couldn't have customers, we actually came in and brought the crew in to keep them employed and redesign the track. So we have some nice straightaways so we can really get some top speeds in there. And 9 turns, European-style track that we have in there.
Now, when you say European style, for somebody who doesn't know anything about that,
it's not an oval. Americans like to turn left, around and around and around. But in European, the Formula One style karts, they're more of a street circuit type of racetrack, and that's what we have here.
So can you tell me a little bit about the go-karts themselves?
Sure. We have 20 adult go-karts. They are a brand called Sodicart, made in France. They all have 6.5 horsepower engines on them. They can reach pretty good top speeds. I don't want to get into exact numbers, but they can zip around that racetrack, okay? And then we have 10 junior karts, also the same brand, with smaller engines for the junior racers ages 8 through 15.
So I guess you also, in addition to the 8 to 15-year-old karts, you have to be a certain weight, is that right?
There's no minimum weight.
Okay.
However, for the adults, there's a maximum weight of 300 pounds.
So what's the difference? Are the kids, are they going to be screaming their heads off, just as much as the adults?
Oh, yeah.
Or?
It's an adrenaline rush. It really is an adrenaline rush. Yeah, the kids can scream just as much as the adults will.
Sure. So describe for me, the average visit for somebody whenever they come, and they get out there on the course.
Well, you come in, you register, just like most of these other family entertainment centers. You would register, you would pick the package you want to do. We go through some safety rules that we have to go through. Then we suit you up with the safety gear. We bring you out on the racetrack, where the track safety marshal will then seat you, buckle you in, get you ready, go over some final instructions, and then send you out on the racetrack for your race.
So the safety person, safety marshal, they make sure that everything's taken care of. So when you get in there, all you have to worry about is having fun?
Having fun and not bumping into one another. These are not bumper cars.
So how do you avoid running into other people?
Accidents do occur, like anything else. But we know if someone is doing it on purpose or if it was an accident. It really doesn't matter one way or the other. You get 2 strikes, 3rd strike, you're out.
Okay. So maybe it's a good idea to start out maybe not going as fast
Correct.
as...
Especially for first timers, we tell them don't go any faster than you feel comfortable and in control.
Sure. I can imagine that. There's probably some scaredy cats out there to begin with, but after a while you probably get into the groove. What are the turns like? You said it's like a European...
It's flat, it's not banked, it's just flat turns, you know, sweepers, some hairpins, and some straightaways.
So those are probably...
Sweepers,
yeah,
hairpins, and some straightaways.
Straightaways, so a lot of fun for everybody involved. So you strap in, you go through the course, you have this tremendous adrenaline rush. How long does it last?
Each race is 8 minutes long. The average adult, we say, gets somewhere between 15 to 23 laps per race.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's white knuckles when you're out there.
Now, I know that we had talked about mementos. You guys don't really do the capturing of the experience, but you can bring your own GoPro, right?
Yes, if you have GoPros, we have one helmet of every size that has a attachment on the helmet that you can attach your GoPro and tape your race and then post it to our YouTube, your YouTube, wherever you would like to post it on social media.
All right, Bill, when we get back, we're going to talk more at Xtreme Zone.
I'm Christopher Hall, the lead interpreter here at the Johnson Victrola Museum, and we love the sound of the 302.
Welcome back. We're at the Xtreme Zone talking about just the adrenaline rush that you can get when you hop into a go-kart. Now, do you have people that are like regulars that come every week? Or?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Families that come all the time, for sure.
So is it like a little competitive?
Some, yes, absolutely. Some races are really competitive and they come in here and battle it out on the racetrack week after week.
So as far as, you know, like timing, I mean, how do they measure themselves against their buddies?
We time everything that goes on that racetrack. Every kart has a transponder. There's a timing system out on the racetrack, and they get every lap that they do out there as time. So you get a detailed printout sheet when the race is over, so they can compare lap after lap after lap, race after race after race. They know exactly what goes on that racetrack.
So do you see a lot of people just teasing each other or egging each other on? Talk to me about the camaraderie of that.
I've seen friendly camaraderie. I've seen people get really angry with one another. Actually, I've seen some wagering go on here every once in a while.
Oh, I see. Well, you know, it makes sense, you know, because it's a sport.
Yes.
You know, and folks really seem to love it. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the helmets themselves.
Yes.
You have different kinds of helmets, and you mentioned before that we can put a GoPro on the helmets. Can you
Correct.
show me where that would go?
That goes right here. We have one helmet of every size that has a GoPro attachment. So if you have a GoPro, you'll know what this is. You just slide your camera on there, you put this helmet on, you take it out on the racetrack, you hit play, and you tape your whole race.
So you have for everybody, even the 8 to 15
Even the
year
juniors,
olds?
everyone, there's one helmet of every size
Okay.
that has this attachment on it that you can put a GoPro onto.
And this is mandatory that you wear this helmet.
Oh yeah, these carts, this is mandatory that you have helmets on with these carts. These are not amusement carts. These are really racing go-karts.
So let's talk a little bit about the safety briefing. You have to go through a safety briefing with the safety marshal. What kinds of things are you advised to do?
Again, don't go any faster than you feel comfortable and in control. There's certain things about what pedals to use. Keep 2 hands on the wheel at all time. Don't touch anything other than the steering wheel and feet on the pedals. No bumping again. And just to obey all the safety marshals' flags and commands when they're out there.
Mm-hmm. And I know that there's a copy of the video you said on YouTube as well.
There is a copy of the video on YouTube that customers could look before they get here. They have to watch it when they're here regardless though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I would imagine you want everybody to be safe and
Correct.
have a good time, no injuries or anything
Correct.
like that. Now, we were talking about the GoPro that you can snap onto the helmet and upload. Have some of your customers done that? I mean, do you have a YouTube following with videos?
We have quite a few on YouTube. I would suggest you go take a look on our YouTube page. There's probably maybe 20 or 30 races on there in our YouTube page.
Is there one that stands out in your mind?
Not off the top of my head. I can't remember one that stands. Hopefully there's no crashes on there. That's what I'll be worried about.
Hopefully not. But that doesn't happen that often because, you know, it seems like everybody's pretty responsible out there.
It doesn't happen all that frequently, but it does happen on occasion.
It's just got to be really exhilarating. You talked about an adrenaline rush. You get in there and it kind of, does it bounce around a lot whenever you're hitting the hairpin?
It's a gas-powered engine, so you feel everything in that car.
Now, I know that some places have electric, and there's a big difference in power between electric and gas. Can you talk to me about, compare the two?
Sure. Electric carts are fine as well. I mean, it's the way the industry is going is electric. However, we're still gas, and the difference is that the electric, they have a lot of control. Okay, they have power settings on the electric, so they can keep you from going fast, essentially, with the remote control. Whereas here, you're pretty much in control from the moment you go out until the time the race is finished. So they have a lot more torque, in my opinion, much more low-end speed, whereas the gas carts have always been considered to have a lot more top-end speed.
Mm-hmm. So how do you keep your fleet, I guess, in tune? I mean, I would imagine that they get a lot of, you know, going as fast as they do. I mean, what kinds of, I doubt you have a pit crew that, you know.
We don't have a pit crew.
No?
We don't have a pit crew like that, but we have 2 full-time mechanics that are constantly busy. These carts get a lot of use, and we perform maintenance every single day on these carts to keep them in top performing status.
Yeah, it must be quite a chore. You like rotate them out?
Yeah, we go through every cart once a month for sure for routine maintenance. Plus, if anything else breaks in the meantime, they fix that as well.
Sure, you must go through a lot of tires.
Tires, not so much, but we do go through a lot of parts.
Yeah?
A lot of parts we go through, correct.
That's got to be like a specialty, you know. Who makes go-kart parts?
Go-kart manufacturers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not many people that make go-kart parts.
Yeah.
You can't get them from the Ford dealership,
No,
you know?
Unfortunately, you can't go down to AutoZone.
No, you can't do that. But yeah, we have 2 full-time mechanics, and we're constantly keeping the fleet up to our standards.
Excellent. All right, we're going to talk more at the Xtreme Zone when we come back.
I'm Stephania from Sazio Rehoboth, and we find the best food from the 302.
Welcome back. We're talking all things go-karting at the Xtreme Zone. Now, Bill, we talked a little bit about the exhilaration of families and individuals who are just really into it,
yes.
You know. But you also have a lot of opportunities if somebody is having a party or something like that. Can you talk to us about that?
Sure, we do a lot of birthday parties here for both children and adults. We host parties almost every weekend, okay? We do a lot of corporate events, team building, and just regular group events, get together as like a prize for sales performance or whatever it may be. And we also do quite a few bachelor parties here as well.
Now, one of the things that I noticed when I came in and when I went into the ladies' room is that it smells really clean. So you guys are doing a lot of cleaning of the facilities because we're in COVID, right? So talk to me about the safety precautions, but beyond the masks that you're doing for team building or parties or things like that.
Obviously, we're sanitizing like crazy. I mean, I was a clean freak before COVID. Now it just got that much more. I mean, we have to keep things to a different level.
Sure.
So we're constantly spraying, wiping everything inside the facility. Helmets are being sanitized. Carts are being sanitized in between every race. So it's just a new world that we live in, the new normal.
Yeah, the new normal. You guys have been doing okay with it through COVID, or?
We're doing the best that we can. We still have the doors open. We're trying to do the best that we can, and hopefully we get some normalcy back in the next few months.
Fingers crossed.
And you know, everything will be back to having a good time here at Xtreme Zone.
Now, in addition to putting on a helmet, slapping on a GoPro, hopping in a cart after the safety instructions, having a good time there, you can also do other things here.
Correct.
You have virtual, is that like a training? What exactly is that?
No, it's racing simulators. We have 2 racing simulators that actually are virtual reality. You can put on the goggles and you're immersed into a virtual race car. that you have hundreds of cars to choose from, hundreds of tracks to choose from, and you can go ahead and either race individually or race one of your friends, because we can do side-by-side racing.
Oh, that's cool. Now, does that prepare you in any way for hitting the real course?
Real race car drivers use simulations all the time. So I don't know if it's going to prepare you for this course, because we don't have this course on the simulator, but racing is racing.
And maybe just like the reflexes, I would think.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a really fun experience.
Definitely. And you have axe throwing, correct?
We just opened axe throwing the week before COVID hit.
Okay.
So we have 6 axe throwing lanes, and we have 4 projected target lanes and 2 standard axe throwing lanes, which is the standard bullseye that everyone's used to seeing.
So I know that there are a lot of safety protocols when it comes to axe throwing. Can you talk to me a little bit about, do you have to go through a instruction on how to throw the axe before?
We do offer a brief safety briefing before new customers come to axe throw. So the first time we do go over a safety briefing with you for the axes. It's brief, it's just kind of common sense, but nonetheless we do go over the do's and don'ts of what you do when you're throwing hatchets at a wall.
Now I know that there is a way to release. A lot of people release too late and it goes to the ground, but can you tell us the perfect way to throw an axe?
To me, it's like flick of the wrist. It's a flick of the wrist right here. And then it's all about timing and when the axe actually comes to the target so that it sticks.
Mm-hmm. So you have regular targets, right?
We have regular targets. We have 2 regular standard lanes and 4 projected targets where you can actually throw at bullseyes that change, throw at zombie heads, or play tic-tac-toe with someone.
Oh, and how is that resonating with customers?
People love it. People absolutely love it because you're actually throwing at something instead of just trying to hit like a standard bullseye.
Sure, I can imagine it gets a lot of that frustration out.
We put COVID signs up there once in a while and people throw COVID.
Oh, really? Oh.
Like that too.
So, I mean, when people come, they can do parties there, or?
You can do parties anywhere. You can do axe throwing parties, you can do karting parties, you can, like, as I mentioned earlier, you can do the throwing. You can do full facility rentals and do all 3 things to however much you want to do.
Mm-hmm. So if you decide to have a party, are there rules to the party that you want to have? I mean,
standard COVID rules.
Okay.
Standard COVID rules, but no other rules other than what we're going through with COVID. But you just would call us or go on our website and get in touch with us, and we can reserve a party that way.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about the website. What is the website address?
It tells you everything that we can do here, a little history about our carts, about axe throwing, about the racing simulators, goes over the rules. There's some rules that are stated on the website. It allows you to register so that you don't have to go to the kiosk when you're here. You can register before you come. And coming soon will be online booking, where you can actually book your race, book your simulator, or book your axe throwing session right online, pay for it, and just show up and be ready to go.
And that way you don't have to wait.
Correct.
It's a lot easier.
Correct. We're hoping.
Excellent. So Facebook, are you on Facebook?
On Facebook and on Instagram.
Okay.
Every day.
So tell us your Facebook name and your Instagram.
Xtreme Zone. And Xtreme Zone DE for Delaware.
Okay.
On Instagram.
So what do you have on your Instagram page?
Just funny posts.
Yeah?
Yeah. Funny posts here, specials, or anything crazy, anything that's exciting that's going on here. Records that are set. Customers can upload stuff to us. We post on there for that.
Yeah, we were talking about the competition. You said records that are set. Can you tell us a little bit about what's a typical record?
Time.
Okay.
How fast their lap time was.
Mm-hmm.
So we have customers, it's all listed on the website as well. We have customers that continuously look at the website to see if their record has been beat. So that's the kind of stuff that we post there on Facebook and on Instagram as well.
So if you're feeling a little restless, you want to get out, maybe you're just a competitive person and you're tired of COVID, the Xtreme Zone is the place to be.
In Newcastle, Delaware, correct.
Excellent, Bill. Thank you so much for spending time with us, and we'll be right back. information on how you can have a blast here at the Xtreme Zone, you can go to their website, but it starts with an X, xtremezone.com. That'll do it for this week's episode. We're going to leave you now with some go-kart action satisfaction. Until next time, I'm Jackie Ferris. We'll see you on the 302.